What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back into another banger of a video. Today's video, we're going to be discussing my results from the ZYTO scan. I told you guys that I'll be going to a functional medicine doctor back again because, man, I've been going through it lately. As you guys have seen in my prior videos, I've been having tests for SIBO, H. pylori. I've been having a lot of trouble with my gas and bloating and whatnot. So I decided to go back to functional medicine because I've noticed that, that helped me a lot when I was going through that process. Although I would say it's a little bit, if not a lot of bit expensive because most of them don't take health insurance, which is very unfortunate because I work for the federal government and they provide really good insurance, but I can't use it in this situation, which is very unfortunate. So I have to pay out of pocket. But let's get right into the video and let's get right into the ZYTO scan. So I'll make my screen a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to add a little bit more. Does that look good? You guys can read it. Perfect, right? So we're just gonna go over real quick what's a ZYTO scan. And I came here to this website. I think it's a chiropractor website or something. The core of ZYTO technology is biocommunication scanning by measuring your body for galvanic skin response. Now, I don't know what galvanic skin response is really, to be honest. That's something you can do your research on. And, that's a technology I guess they use. I have no idea. But a ZYTO scan can determine which nutritional supplements, foods, oils, or services your body is most biologically coherent with. So that's one. But now we're gonna go into the website and give you a little background on the ZYTO scan. So it basically says the ZYTO scan cradle scan is an easy and painless process. Can you guys see this? Okay, I might scoot this up a little bit, but let me see if I can. No, you're good. You're good. Painless process. You just need to place your hand on the ZYTO hand cradle while the galvanic skin response (GSR) scan is run. All right, I guess. Well, so let me explain to you guys what happens in the process real quick before I show you my results. But I'm gonna decrease this and I'm gonna show you my results. Look at this. This is gonna be interesting to share with you guys and go over it. But technically, what happens? Let me make my screen larger before we go back into that. So what happens is it gives you this little scan that you can put your hand on, and obviously all your 5 fingers go into it. You just have to sit your hand on it, and once the process starts, the computer starts reading the galvanic, I guess, response, the technology it uses to measure what's going on with your body, right? The cool thing about it, though, I've had a similar test done before back in El Salvador, back in 2018. I was kind of sketchy. I was kind of like, this technology is kind of iffy, kind of sus, to be honest. Like, how accurate can it be? But before even telling my doctor at that point, this was in El Salvador, by the way, not even here in the States, in El Salvador. Before telling her what was going on with my body, she took the scan, right? And then eventually, we started going through the consultation, what was wrong with me, blah, blah. And she showed me what the computer had read. And literally the red marks and everything was basically my stomach issues. Like the first thing that was red, and it was just, it was a big ass bar. It was my stomach issues, and I was like, wait, how did I even read that? How did I even know that I have stomach issues? Like, really, really cool, man. Listen, the technology behind it, I don't really fully understand it. I'm not an expert in this, but I know that every time I've gone and taken some type of ZYTO scan or anything, a scan similar to that type of technology, it actually always has landed on what I'm suffering from or what I'm struggling from. I guess the organ that I'm suffering from, right? So this one's pretty cool. It took a couple minutes really for the computer to read anything. And then this is a wellness report that I'm going to show you. This is my wellness report. So I do want to add, before we get into my wellness report, I am not an expert on all of this that I'm discussing. I'm an expert on my experience and what I go through. I share this with you guys, from not just a vulnerable perspective, but maybe you guys can get something out of it. Maybe you guys, go through certain issues and testings and stuff like that. I'm kind of expanding, the knowledge as much as I can. And, basically what I go through. I had someone earlier in my video again, comment on my videos, basically saying that not to listen to me when it comes to, you know, having the Nissen fundoplication surgery. And I'm like, homie, I'm like, nobody's telling nobody not to have the surgery. If anything, I am giving my experience from what I went through, and unfortunately, it didn't work for me. I know a lot of people that have had success, right, with surgeries and procedures, and that's a blessing, man. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen for me. But I'm not telling people don't do this or don't do that. I'm not a professional. You know, I'm not nobody to tell you what to do. I've always told you guys make the ultimate decision when it comes to surgeries and whatnot. But I am gonna share my experience, and you make that what you want from it, and you take that and you apply it to your life, or don't apply it to your life, right? I think it's important to learn from people's experiences. For people out there like that, you know, that person that commented on my channel, I'm like, nobody's trying to tell nobody to have surgeries or not have surgeries. That's not my job, right? I don't do that. I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor. I always have to say that. I have to emphasize it because, you know, people out there, bro, they're just looking at anybody to blame for, you know, anything. So, and then it's weird sometimes. But regardless, we're going to move on. So look, biomarkers. It read 197 biomarkers. As you guys can see over here, let me see if I can make that a little bit larger for you guys. Perfect. So you guys can read it. So I'm going to leave it just like that. I think this is good. I might decrease it a little bit, but I just want you guys to read this part of the biomarkers. So the biomarkers, the test read 197. The range was 3.06. The biomarkers within range, were 120, and biomarkers out of range are 77. So from my understanding, I have 120 biomarkers that my body's, you know, I guess was given enough to the ZYTO scan and to the computer that are within range of, I guess, normal health, right? Or good health or optimal health. And 77 of them are out of range, which is not good, right? As portrayed by the green good, red bad. So that's the simplest way to understand it, and you know, the simplest way to grasp that. So let's move on. Again, the baseline 77 is telling me here it's out of range. So I don't remember what the last time what it was, but this one was 77. So as you guys can see on this one, for the ZYTO scan, 4 core body systems are measured for wellness. One is detoxification system. 2 gastro, which, you know, your boy, you know, that's me, the gastro system. 3 the hormonal, and then 4 the immune. So like I was telling you guys, look at this chart right here. Let me decrease it so you guys can see where it ends, the red part of my gastro. There you go. So when it measured my 4 core body systems, look at my gastro. Look at that. All the way passing the range. It's red all the way up the bars. That means it's not good, ladies and gentlemen. That means that something's going on. As we all know, you know, it's not a surprise to me, but it's always good to get that reassurance that it's my gastro issues that are, you know, that I'm struggling with. And as soon as, you know, my doctor sees that, and me telling her what was going on with me, or what's happening with, like, you know, my bloating and my gas and, you know, certain issues like that, like it kind of adds up and it kind of meshes together, and it's like, okay, cool, like you are suffering from it. So that was what I thought it was pretty interesting. Now this ZYTO scan gives you a lot more information. For example, the hydration, inflammation. As you guys can see, my inflammation is within range, so I'm not inflamed, you know, in my body. Hydration is pretty decent, not bad, right? Diet and nutrition, I don't think it can really measure that, so it is left blank. But my mental and emotional stress, look down here. My mental and emotional stress is over what it should be. It's not within range, which is, again, not good. Now this is not red, but it is getting to the orange part, and eventually, you know, it could get to red. So what we do with functional medicine, and why I like going to functional medicine, is because when you do tests like this, right, it kind of tells you in the parts that you need to work on so you can be at your optimal health, right? Which I think is really important, because a lot of your health issues, you know, like a lot of organs or a lot of different issues affect you in very, very different ways. And I'm like, that actually makes a lot of sense to me. But let's go to another important one, which is sleep. Look at my sleep down right under the mental and emotional stress. My sleep, bad again, out of range first of all, and red. This is like, you know, you don't have to tell me that my sleep is bad. And why is my sleep bad? Because of my GERD issues, because of my gastro issues, because of my chest trauma from procedures, which all kind of, you can kind of derive this back to my gastro issues, right? This is how bad I've suffered from sleep. Sleep is a struggle. Even when I am quote unquote resting, I'm not technically resting because my body's still suffering from a lot. I mean, I sleep sideways now. I can't sleep flat. If I sleep flat facing up, I literally wake up a couple minutes later like drowning or choking or some type of, something in my chest that doesn't let me sleep flat on my chest. So that's not a possibility anymore. So I have to sleep sideways. And when I sleep sideways, I have pain now in my back sometimes, in my shoulders, in my arms. My arms fall asleep sometimes because of that. And it's kind of annoying. So I have like, muscle tension around those areas because I sleep sideways, for so much. And sometimes I wake up again with my hand falling asleep, which is a struggle. So I read something earlier here. I want to share with you guys. I forgot to mention this as to why they measure these four, and I'm gonna read this to you guys because I think it's really important and pretty interesting. So, whether you are very ill, seeking to prevent illness, or just trying to improve your overall health or fitness levels, it is important to evaluate these four systems, how these symptoms function both independently and interdependently has a profound influence on your health. If one or more is compromised, the negative effects can spill over to all other symptoms. That statement is one of the most true statements that I've read. And I've always told myself, or I always gather that information and kind of like made a assumption that that's what happens, right? And what does that mean? So when you're suffering from gastro issues, maybe your other organs start suffering because your gastro is not at a good level where it should be, right? It's not healthy, right? If you're suffering from, liver problems or something, that's going to spill over to other organs and will make you even more sick. This is why, again, I'm not trying to hype up functional medicine, but I like functional medicine because a lot of the times they try to go into what they call your root cause, right? The root cause of your problems. They're trying to get to the bottom of what's causing the rest of your issues, right? And then if you can't do that, at least trying to manage them the best way possible so you can have, the optimal health that's for you. And for me in this case, it's my gastro issues that cause me to have other issues. Like, for example, it's affecting my sleep, it's affecting my mental, emotional stress, and it just kind of spills over, on and on. So I think that's a pretty interesting fact and a very true statement to me. I'm gonna finish reading the sentence. Basically creating a chain of events that can greatly impact your overall health. Again, very, very true statement. If you're serious about preventing your health problems or creating an environment where the body can heal, um, you are cheating yourself out of success if you do not focus on these systems, right? So, now what do I think about it? I mean, I think it makes sense to me because it shows me what I am feeling. It shows me what I am experiencing. So it makes me believe more that this is more legit than not. I've heard a lot of things about functional medicine and whatnot. I'm not gonna get into all that. Personally, I love the fact that they try to get into the root cause of things, and I think that's just the way to go as naturally as possible. So those are the main things that I want to share with you guys. I don't want to get deep into. I mean, we can go into the detoxification system, all that stuff, and like what's going on with me. Some of the things are out of range, some are not. My gastro out of range. Some of the things are out of range, some are not. It's being affected a lot. Like a lot of my health is being affected, by the out of range and stuff and all that. So some things are closer to what they should be. Some things are not. And what I'm gonna try to do with my with my nurse, my doctor, all the above. I'm basically gonna try to accomplish that, trying to get to a good range. I'm glad that my immune system, if you guys can see that, is in pretty decent. So that's that's something that I'm like, okay, nice. By the way, last thing that I will mention, every time that I go get testing done like this, my testosterone levels are low. And I'm trying to figure out why. If you guys have any idea as to why that could be, especially because I'm suffering from gastro issues, prostatitis, I mean, you name it. I don't know. Could it be the antibiotics that I take a lot? Maybe sometimes the PPIs, the anti-acid medication that I take. I don't know. I'm not sure. I got to do my research on that. But I've noticed that my testosterone levels sometimes are low, and I'm like, yo, I wonder why. And I don't know exactly what that means, but maybe it's affected by my mood is affected because of it. I know my sexual like mood and stuff that's not affected because I just take my word for it. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of confused about it a little bit. I gotta ask my nurse or my doctor more about this situation and see what happens. But again, I'm not sure why they are low, but I'm gonna try to make sure that those levels are in a good level. I don't want them low, especially at the young age of 30. My body feels older than that. So if you guys have any comments regarding this, or maybe I'm reading this wrong, hey, listen, I love constructive criticism, or if I love learning. So if you come approach me the right way and just tell me, like, help me understand a little bit better, I'll appreciate that, man. Again, I love growing. I can share that with more of my YouTube channel and share that with you guys and spread the word. You know what I mean? We're here to grow from each other and learn from each other. I would love to know that, but if you have any questions on the test, what happens to it, maybe the price I can try to share with you guys. But again, different places it differs. It just knows it's expensive. I mean, I live in the States and it's expensive to me, so it's always been a very expensive. So your health costs a lot of money, especially if you're suffering from so many things and then you're trying to heal yourself. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Again, this is personal. This is basically what I'm going through. I'm not trying to tell anybody to do anything else or go through. No. I'm just sharing my experience with you guys. Hopefully you learn something good out of it. Something that you guys can look, research, and maybe see if you're interested or not. I'm not paid by these guys, or I'm not trying to hype it up more than it should be. I'm just sharing my experience and letting you guys know how it is and what I'm doing for my health, because a lot of you guys want to know, like, how do you do this? When do you do this? Blah, blah. And I'm just letting you into my life. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video, comment, whatever you have to do, show some love. And again, to my community out there, man, a lot of you guys are struggling with issues. You're not alone. It's a tough world out there. Health issues, it's a serious situation, and just stay positive. Keep doing what you have to do. Take it a day at a time. And as always, familia, I'm here for you guys. I'm here to share my experience, my vulnerability. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, and as usual, peace and love, family. Deuces.